Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Reborn, and today I'm gonna be going over SummerSlam, the pros, the cons, and the ugly. I got no script for this one, so I'm kind of gonna go off the top of my head, but let's get to it. First match we have is from Saturday, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. It was a cool tag match from what I watched. I watched the whole event, so yeah. Storyline wise, I'm not really all that into it. Roman Reigns is kind of just floating around doing nothing. So this was a good match for him to kind of be here. Main event Jey Uso. Again, he's kind of floating around since he's not in any title pictures. Not really doing much. I did kind of want Breaker and Bronson Reed to win, but like to kind of solidify them as a real tag team. Maybe let them get the tag team gold in the near future. But it's not that big of a deal that they lost, and I think they could still go after the tag gold, especially well, we're gonna get to Seth Rollins in a little bit. Next up, we have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defeats Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez for the women's tag titles. This was a fun match. Charlotte has never been more interested in this storyline than she has recently. I love the Judgment Day pairing of Raquel and Roxanne, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do next because I think they're a great tag team, especially Raquel, especially tag team in this year. She's had a lot of great matches. I can't lie, and Alexa Bliss did her thing. This was an overall solid match. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This match should not have been on the card in the first place. I know that people were kind of clamoring for Karrion Kross to get push or something, but like personally to me, I find him boring. I don't think he's all that great of a wrestler. If they were gonna put this match on the card, they might as well have made him win because Sami Zayn could take the L and it won't really affect them. While on the other hand, Kross is kind of already. There's like reports saying that he already 1 foot out the door. He doesn't have a contract extension for when his contract ends, so I'm not sure if this was his last match in the WWE or not. But yeah, I definitely think this match could have been replaced with the U.S. U.S. women's match that was on Friday with Julia and Zelina, which is a really good match. That should have been on this card. Next match we have Tiffany and Jade Cargill. Tiffany beats Jade Cargill for the WWE Championship. This one was actually surprising in that it was kind of a short match, which I guess is because Jade still can't really. Well, I think Jade and Tiffany can't really go the distance like that, number one. But I think also because Jade, I don't really know the terminology I want to use for Jade. Not that she's a bad wrestler, but she's kind of more in that Goldberg. I saw a tweet, so she's kind of like in that Goldberg kind of 5 minutes. You're going to get a real good match out of her kind of thing. Like the match is big move after big move. Kind of felt like I was watching a WWE 2K match. That's what kind of match it was. I was surprised by Tiffany winning, so I wonder if they're going to continue to extend this feud, or if like they're going to go opposite directions. But Tiffany's been going crazy this year. They mentioned she was undefeated. Um, I'm happy for Tiffany. She's been one of my breakout stars over the last year since she was in NXT, since the call up. She's been really good, and I'm loving this run she's on. I wish the title run was better. It's good, could be better, but I think we're getting somewhere with it. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. Drew and Logan won. Um, I'm not crazy about these celebrity matches. I'm not crazy about any Logan Paul match. So yeah, it was watchable. Um, yeah, that's about it, to be honest. I really don't got nothing much else to say. Then the main event, CM Punk versus Gunther. Man, this was real wrestling right here. Gunther was slapping the hell out of CM Punk. CM Punk, it's that old energy. It's kind of like watching your favorite superhero like out his prime, but he still got it deep down, and like he brought it out, and he won the match. Gunther's amazing when just from a technical wrestling standpoint, he's simply amazing. His facial expressions, his trash talking, like call me a kid again. Who's the kid now? Like Gunther's is incredible. He's obviously the best wrestler, he's best male wrestler in the WWE period, and he's one of the best wrestlers in the world in my opinion. And just the moment when like his face started bleeding and like he's like touching his face, can't tell CM Punk stop. Like, he's not used to seeing his own blood, and CM Punk, being the veteran he is, took advantage of that, hitting with 2 GTSs to win the match and win his first world championship since he's left the WWE. Was absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously, got to talk about the cash in. Seth Rollins, calling it the ruse of the century after his heist of the century. And honestly, he caught me off guard. I can't even lie. I was smiling when it was happening. I did think he had a serious injury. I thought he probably tore his ACL back at the main event versus LA Knight. Um, and to see that, I guess it wasn't that serious, and they could cash it in at SummerSlam. That was a great cash in. The only thing about the cash in, especially on CM Punk, is that I'm a little bit tired of the feud because it's about the kind of Rollins and Punk kind of been going in circles. Oh, you left, you're cancer to the WWE, blah blah blah. And also the 2 matches they had, the one on Netflix, I think they're both on Netflix. There was the first one on Netflix, and then the steel cage match when before Roman came back. Both of those matches were kind of boring. It's kind of like they have no chemistry together. So I wonder if another match would kind of move the needle for me. Maybe. I think they both do have a good match between them in them, but at the point where it's at right now, I really don't want to see it. And moving on to Sunday, the Sunday matches started off with Naomi beating Rhea Ripley and Iyosky in a triple threat match. Man, like, I could make a whole video, and I might make a whole video on just why women's wrestling, especially in 2025, is probably the best wrestling that's going on right now from what I've been watching, because this match is amazing. Iyosky, I mentioned that Gunther's the best male wrestler in the one of the best in the world. I think iyosky is the best wrestler, man or woman, alive in the world. She's absolutely amazing. She's my top one right now. Rhea Ripley, absolutely amazing. I wish she just had more matches. I wish Triple H made her cook more because she's amazing in the ring. Naomi held her own and even probably was at the same level. Like, every person in this matchup has different styles. Io Sky's more in the air, high fly, kind of technical. Rhea Ripley's a powerhouse, and Naomi's out there kind of just scrapping, and they created magic together, and that was an amazing match. Next up, also her coming out, her father was also just real. That was beautiful. Next match, we had the tag team matchups with the SmackDown Tag Division TLC matchup. The Wyatt Sick won the matchup. It was a cool match, tables breaking, chairs breaking, ladders breaking. The only thing I fell off on SmackDown a little bit recently, so I'm not really a big fan of the Wyatt Six, especially the 2 guys they have tagging, Dexter and Joe. I literally wanted anybody but them to win the match, so I was a little disappointed that they actually did win the match. Not that they're bad, but I like literally everybody else in the match more. I personally wanted Andrade and Ray Phoenix to win because they kind of been picking up steam in the recent weeks of SmackDown. But yeah, great match. I also wanted the Street Profits to win, but whatever. Great match. I do think it's finally time. Hopefully they do a draft or mix up the roster soon, get some fresh faces, some fresh matchups coming up, so you could get, like, not just for the tag division, but all the divisions need kind of like a little freshen up. But like, we'll see what goes on with that. Next up, we have the women's intercontinental match between Becky and Lyra. No disqualifications. This was a very interesting match. Just from watching it, I remember it was long. Like, it was just going at one point, and not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I do think it kind of takes away from the quality of the match a little bit. They also had Bailey kind of interfere and make Lyra lose, which again, kind of saw coming because Bailey's kind of been floating around in this storyline they had going on, but I wasn't a big fan of that ending personally. I do wonder what's next for everybody in this feud, or who is in this feud. It looks like Lyra and Bailey probably gonna go at it without the title. I wonder what Becky's gonna do to elevate that title more. I do think Becky gets a lot of unnecessary hate on the internet, on the wrestling internet community, ICW, I think they're called. And but that's Becky Lynch. That's one of the all-time great women in wrestling. And I'm definitely excited to see what she does with that Intercontinental Championship moving forward. Next up, we had the steel cage match with Solo and Jacob Fatu, the two cousins. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I've missed a chunk of this match, but the parts I did see of it, I wasn't really all that interested. They had Jacob lose the match, and then they kind of had him take out the MFT at the end of the match, standing tall. You know, they're the reasons he lost. But I guess I kind of hope this is the end of this feud and have solo feud with Carmelo Hayes, anybody else that's not in his family, to see his range kind of come out a little bit more. But they're probably gonna transition into a Jimmy and solo feud, and maybe Jimmy getting his first solo title. That's just my prediction, but we'll see what happens with that. Next up, we have Dom Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Dominic taking the W. This is a fun little match. Did get a little gimmicky towards the end, and like that's a personal preference if you liked it or not. I definitely kind of wanted it to stay a little bit more serious because I really think Dominic has a chance to be an absolute superstar, not just in the WWE, he already is, but just a wrestling superstar in general. Like he could, if you let him cook, I think he's going to be able to cook in that ring. And he was with AJ Styles, who's one of the best that we've ever seen, in my opinion. This is a very fun match. I got no complaints about this. Just kind of wish it was more serious towards the end. But again, Dominic winning with taking off his shoe, that was smart. That's something he would do. So I'm excited to see more of this Dominic reign. And finally, the main event, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship. I don't think it's called Universal. I think it's WWE Championship. Undisputed. And man, this is the match we should have got at WrestleMania. Both of these guys put on a classic, and I was so excited. I was at the edge of my seat. Cody Rhodes was kicking out a 5, 6, maybe 7, 8 A's. John Cena's kicking out a 4, 5 crossroads. They were going through tables. They were taking apart the ring. They were in the stands at one point. This was just an amazing match, and unfortunately, it gets overshadowed with the return at the end that I will get to in a minute. I'm glad Cody won this match, and I'm definitely excited to see who he feuds with next. I do think Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre will be people he feud with in the near future. Hopefully, there's like a surprise somebody else in there. Maybe Jacob Fatu, who knows? But I'm interested to see how this second Cody reign goes. His first reign was good too, but I'm definitely excited to see how the second reign goes. And finally, Brock Lesnar returns to WWE. I'm not trying to get too into it. Well, I want this to be a sports media channel, so I do think I have to get into it a little bit. But Brock Lesnar is named, and that's sexual misconduct, sexual trafficking case that's currently open against the WWE. And that was the reason he was put off the TV in the first place, like almost 2 years ago. So bringing him back now, especially when the case is still ongoing, investigation is still ongoing, I think that's an absolute mistake by the WWE. But unfortunately, WWE is going in the wrong direction, in my opinion, again, in terms of who they are aligning themselves with, who TKO is aligning themselves with, who Triple H was with earlier in the middle of last week, and like all that stuff is kind of bad press in a way, especially because a majority of wrestling fans in general are not those kind of people. If you know what I'm talking about, kind of trying to talk between the lines a little bit. I do think back to Brock Lesnar. I do think him returning and attacking Cena. I mean, do we really want to see Brock Lesnar versus John Cena again? We might get a good match out of it, but like I doubt Brock Lesnar will lose the match. I doubt he returns just to lose. And then even after the Cena feud, what does he do next? Like I'm not really sure what the plan, if they even had a plan for Brock with Lesnar with this. So I'm just puzzled and confused on why they're doing this. And I think it's a slap in the face to, I'll say like 60% of their fan base for even bringing him back. I'm a fan of Brock Lesnar, but again, because he's in this case, it kind of makes things a little messy. and I think it should kind of be avoided until it's all cleared up. And if it doesn't get cleared up, he probably shouldn't have even come back. But again, that's just my opinion. And yeah, overall, I'll give this SummerSlam a 7 out of 10, which is kind of average. It's another average PLE. It's another two-nighter. Night two is obviously better than night one, but the matchups in night two, most of them were no disqualification, so it's kind of just a lot of a lot of. There wasn't no breaks, if that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Dom and AJ was kind of like the only match on the card, which was just a regular match, and like I definitely think the matchup should have been switched around a little bit to give more matches room to breathe. Like that TLC match right after the triple threat match into the street fight with Becky, and it's kind of like it's just bam, 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 no time to breathe. While the first night's card was kind of more balanced, I guess, even if the matchups were not nearly as strong. So yeah, I'm giving this SummerSlam a 7 out of 10. They got Clash of Paris at the end of the month, I believe. I'm probably not gonna watch any Raw, SmackDown until then, just because of that Brock Lesnar thing. It really is disappointing, unfortunately. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And let me guys know what I could do to improve on these videos and stuff like that. Uh, appreciate the time. Again, my name is Reborn, and I'll see you guys in the next one.